Hello, hello, hello. My name is NicholassRivas. I should not start this intro with like a positive uh voice when it's kind of like a more somber topic. But yeah, my name is NicholassRivas. I talk about politics and stuff, and today I'm talking about something less political in a sense. There was a incident that occurred where a dad shot a boyfriend, and it was all over the news given the kind of like, I guess, upfrontness of it all. I mean, you just see the guy on the ring camera trying to break into a house, trying to see this dad's daughter. Kid gets shot pretty brutally, but also in a sense justifiably, right? So, I mean, the guy's trying to break in. So the internet kind of sparked a bit of controversy in a sense. I say it so lightly because I haven't seen much people defending one side more than the other, and I'll get into it. But backstory is that guy shoots ex-boyfriend who's trying to break in. I wanted to talk about this topic because I don't get why this is even a debate or a talk about of anything, because for one, I'm not seeing any people say they're justifying the boyfriend in his breaking in as much as I'm seeing more people just say, hey, I don't like that this guy was shot. Yeah, of course he was doing something wrong, but could have been handled differently. That's the argument. No one's saying the boyfriend's a good guy is how I'm reading this. Fair, right? Like that's an argument in a sense, but I don't. The topic seems really stupid to me. That's why I really wanted to talk about this, because maybe I'm crazy, and I've seen, where over the force is used, where people are gun ho and they just want to shoot their guns, and so they've taken out on the lightest situations. Typically, machismo, men who, I want to just shoot my gun, like they bring it out kind of willy nilly. I know there was the case of that young black kid who was killed, and this guy shot him kind of unprovoked. I'll try to find the exact case, but I mean, I feel like it's like that's kind of like an age-old story of like somebody using excessive force when they could have walked away, when they could have maybe just called the cops. And Trayvon Martin is that whole story is built around him. He was minding his own, and some guy took it upon himself to be fucking judge, jury, and executioner when there should have been levels involved. And also in that case, kid was just walking down the street, like he wasn't even doing anything. But I digress. This guy walks in, or he's trying to break in to see a man's daughter. So already that's justifiable to say, hey, get the fuck off my property. Now, does the kid deserve to get shot after with that? No. But he then starts banging on the door. Then, with the context in mind, you find out that the kid and the girl broke up like 7 years ago. So he's having a manic episode. Like, they're not talking like they used to. So imagine a person you didn't see last time you saw was 7 years ago, and they're at your door trying to break down. I'm shooting them, right? So that was my conclusion. I'm gonna shoot this person. That's what I would do if they broke in. I don't know. They seem sporadic. They seem dangerous. It seems clear cut, right? But no, some of the internet was in defense of the boyfriend. Again, not saying he should break in and all that, but they said that he had excessive force. And I think I've seen a majority. I have no actual numbers to this. This is purely just what I've seen in my perusing of the video. But the kid was getting some defense by more follower Twitter users, so people with a little bit of clout were on the kid's side, and so the family even was pretty remorseful. So it's not like they were like, ha, we killed this random guy just to kill him. It was just a bad situation for them. Like, nobody wants to do it. They warned him multiple times. The video is disturbing. Seeing him get shot is crazy. So I think the people's kind of gut reaction of just seeing this guy just flop on the floor. He got shot and he wobbles and he looks, hunched over. Like, he just looks decrepit, and it's just a disgusting sight to see. So nobody is rooting to and over the death of somebody, but I also don't understand why this is even an argument. The guy shot justifiably. Like, am I crazy? Like, that's why I really wanted to make this, because I felt like I was crazy in the idea that, like, okay, like maybe I'm looking at this with too much force. Like, I've in the past been like, well, a cop has to do what a cop has to do, a guy has to do what a guy has to do, and I've been corrected. I remember seeing a video of like a homeless man try to stab a cop, and I thought, well, in that split moment, the cop shooting the guy made sense. But when I've come to find out, the context was that they could have handled like the UK police. Now that's a controversial topic on itself, and I know people are going to go back and forth of what's right and wrong of excessive force. I mean, it's not even a clear-cut solution even in the UK. They just have less weapons, so it's not like they're doing something that much inherently better. It's just a talk of procedure and policy, and how we address mental health is a whole thing too. But I'm going off these tangents. The excessive force is something I've always kind of went back and forth with. How much force is too much? Also, for your safety, do you take those excessivenesses? It's a genuine question, but in this case, I don't get how. There was a video of a woman trying to stab a guy, a police officer. Police officer reacted super quickly, shot the woman as she was about to stab someone. The cop saved that person's life. Now, even though it was a small minority of people, I did see people trying to defend that person and say like, hey, you used too much force, but she was trying to stab somebody. Like, I can't see a world where that wasn't justifiable. Yeah, I wish there was a world we lived in where cops use less guns. This wasn't one of them, And so, yeah, it was I don't know, it's just an oddity to see so much people defending this whole topic, and I don't know, I don't want to be the guy who's always for excessive force. I want to have a line, right? Or some sort of line, but it's so hard to make that. So I definitely can say, though, in this case, I don't get why people were so mad at the dad. Again, very small group of people that I saw. Granted, I saw this post. The reason I brought up the guy with like a lot of followers was because he had a big following, enough for like thousands of likes on his post. And it just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I don't know how people look at that. Like, I don't look at that. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt odd to begin with. And so, again, I feel crazy here. Maybe I'm the weirdo. Maybe I'm the one who doesn't understand the situation fully. But the kid didn't, I don't want to say deserve it. The kid's dead. Like, it's not a happy tale. But the dad did what he had to do. And again, people that I see are on the dad's side, like, hey, look, I would have done the same. And it's definitely these very loud minorities. But all that being said, it's just kind of a sad, picture to even paint. I mean, the kid's dead. The family's scarred. The daughter of the man even, crying, thinking like she'd be maybe, I don't know, like grieving the boy, was even like, Dad, hey, I love you. It's okay. Like, I understand. So yeah, I definitely, I definitely don't take this as like an easy peasy answer, but I mean, I feel like I'm in a topsy-turvy world where people are defending this guy who should not be defended. Right. So, yeah, I'm definitely I'm definitely not in the minority, but I'm definitely feeling a little bit odd that this is even, like, how did this even get that big enough for people to agree with? I mean, that just makes sense. I mean, maybe people were just so anti-gun, they kind of got blinded by the fact that this guy could have potentially harmed the family. I mean, just given his sporadicness and just trying to break down a door for a woman he hasn't seen in 7 years, yeah, the kid was going to harm people. Like, there was no getting around that. I'm not going to speak on the behalf of somebody's mind, but I'm definitely not going to pretend that this kid was going to go over there just to shake the dad's hand. Like, come on, guys, let's not be foolish here. Let's be adults. The kid wasn't in his sound mind. Now, if there were cops, I could argue that, like, hey, you have like a team of people, the kid's unarmed, maybe, measure your force then. But this is a dad, his wife and kid. He's just trying to protect them. Like, there's nothing I wouldn't do in that situation that I feel like the dad didn't do properly, right? And most people would agree. So I feel like maybe I'm just yelling to people that agree with me, and I'm in an echo chamber of sorts. But I feel justifiable to say enough that the people I did see say that you're being pretty ridiculous. Gabagool. We're about to die here anyway, so I think it's a good spot to end it. So thank you so much. Y'all have a good one, and keep it squealy willy. Later, Gators. Bye.
Go to ground. We'll regroup and hit them again.